And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. Yeah, alright. Forget the Frank. Hello there, folks, and welcome to the final episode of our Football Manager 21 Beat Save with Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's episode 8 of Season 2 of the Save, and in today's episode we're going to be playing our final game of the Save. Quite fitting. I was going to say quite fitting. It's against Nuno's Tottenham, but he's been sacked. That's a shame. He's been there a year and he's been sacked. So not the best tenure for him there. So I guess it's not really fitting. But we play against Tottenham in our final match. And then after that, we're going to have a look at the season review, all that stuff. Talk through the save and then talk through what I'm going to be doing from tomorrow as the main save. You can see that this has been a season with plenty of pride. One that we're not going to quite finish in the top 4, but we have made sure we're in the Europa League for next year, which is excellent news. We got 63 points last year. We've got 73 at the moment. That's a big upgrade. Yes, you could say we could have won the league, but if my auntie had, you know, you get the picture. She'd be my uncle. But, it's been a great season. As you can see, Raul Jimenez has a chance to get the golden boot today if he beats Luis Muriel in terms of the goals. We've done really well since the last episode, actually, barring a 2-0 defeat against Bournemouth. We won't discuss that. But in our games against the big teams, we've done really well. We beat Man United 2-1. We drew 0-0 against Liverpool. And we beat Man City 1-0. And the secret to that was just setting up and defending. Counter-attacking football, a bit more defensive. And just taking our chances. And it's worked really, really well for us. So that leaves us 5th in the Premier League. You can see that if all hell breaks loose at the Man United game, we might just about sniff 4th. But it ain't going to happen. It's going to be an 18-goal swing. And it's not going to happen. But we've done really well. We're going to finish a maximum of 8 points behind the title winners. Whether that's going to be Liverpool, Man City or Man United, we'll find out. To think that Liverpool were behind us at one point this year, it's unbelievable to think, really, isn't it? But yeah, these fans have been brilliant this season. Quite right. This could be the last time we see Jay Moutinho in a Wolves shirt, probably. Yeah, I fully hope so. It's been great, it really has. So the final game of the season, let's have a look at the lineup. So Tottenham start Harry Kane in the midfield. Interesting. That's Joachim Low's now there. And that's our lineup for our final game. The lineup that we've gone for in the last few matches. Again, I feel a bit... this is really nice. This is the first episode, by the way, on the official game, the full game. And I don't know if it's just for final matches or whatever, but it really is excellent, this is. And I was going to record the last episode last night, but I thought, no, we'll leave it till now. Oh, I'm not particularly enamoured with that going in the middle, but oh well. Early ball in, Raul Jimenez to Vinagre. Oh, Johan Mir gets an early goal, but I don't think it's going to count. I think it's going to be offside, but you know what? I don't really give a monkey's what happens here. I'd love to win, of course, but if we don't, we don't. It's not the end of the world as long as we don't get hammered here. It's been a brilliant season. I think, and I'm going to say why I only think, but I think we're going to be leaving the club at the end of the year and going on to pastures new. My main save will be continuing. That's my hope anyway, in this world. So we will be starting the main save 2 seasons in. It's just that we get a bit more experience. I think Chelsea can win the league, actually. I think it's not just the top 3. I think the top 4 can all win the league here. That'd be very interesting. My bet's on Man City, though, to do it. Manchester United, of course, the league winners last year. But if there is a job, if there aren't any jobs that come up in the summer, it's going to be typical, this is the one match episode where absolutely nothing happens. It's 0-0 at half time. One highlight, that's about it. I'm going to say we're not very pleased with what happened there. The players weren't motivated, which isn't great, really, is it? But, okay. The shouts can now go to individuals, and that's highlighted on there. So, a bit of spring cleaning done in the full game, which is nice to see. I like to see that sort of stuff. It seems like there's been a bit of an upgrade for the full game, which is excellent. Man United played Chelsea on the final day. That would be an absolute cracker, wouldn't it? Ward-Prowse with a horrible, absolutely horrible tackle. That's got to be red. Yeah, no other choice. As is said there, that was a horrible tackle. Not the way that I wanted the save to end for him. That is a real shame. But Ward-Prowse coming to start the season, he's done a great job. He really has. We can't say the same of the man alongside him, Renato Sanchez. He hasn't really done anything, to be quite honest. I mean, very defensive. I don't quite know about that. I am going to do the typical thing that we've done and just get our players to sit back a little bit now, though. But I've really enjoyed this save. I really have. I was expecting to have a good time anyway, but this has been really enjoyable, this save. I thoroughly enjoyed it with Wolves. The results have been good, and it's a club that I like. They're certainly a fashionable club, but truly, I didn't know a lot about them before this save, and I think this save has really opened my eyes to some of the perhaps fringe players, the likes of Shabani you'd have never heard of otherwise, but you feel a bit sorry for Jimenez there because there was nobody at all up there to support him. But I do think on counter-attacking football, we might just nick a draw here, who knows, but this will probably be where Tottenham score the first one and go and hammer us. Funnily enough, I think that's our first and only red card of this save. I don't think we've had a red card. We've had the most yellow cards this year, but that's just the way we play. Red cards, though, I don't think we've had any of them. But in Ndombele, with 2 shots in a row there. Is his name Devan the striker? And that's a type of bed, in it, a Devan. Oliver Skip, Harry Winks. I mean, this is just the overrated England squad, isn't it? That's really going to wind people up in the comments, isn't it? In Ndombele, good tackle from Moutinho. Doesn't really lead to anything, though. And in Ndombele with a shot, Rui Patricio secures the ball. And I haven't got a bad word to say, really, about many of these players. They've done a really good job for us. Really served us well. Be a real fitting way to go out if Raul Jimenez can get a goal today and make sure he can potentially get the golden boot. If Muriel scores today, I'm going to cry because Jimenez has been brilliant in both of these seasons. 24 goals in the league. I mean, that's just fantastic. Admittedly, we've not had the contributions this year from the likes of Podence, etc., etc. With 15 minutes to go, I haven't actually made a substitution yet. So we're going to give Moutinho the send-off he deserves here. I think we're going to put Connor Cody in the midfield. Bring Willy Bolly on. It's a change that actually makes sense. It's not what I'm making just out of being nice. We'll also bring Pedro Neto on for Rafa Mir. He's had a good end to the season. It looks like it's going to be Man City who win the title, so not much of a surprise though. I'm keeping my eye on the Arsenal game because if there aren't any goals from the top 2, then hopefully they'll share the golden boot. But I guess if somebody scores a hat-trick and they're a bit unsighted in the top 3, then they could get the golden boot themselves. This game, though, is far from over, but not the thriller that you'd expect, really, at the end of the year. I think the fact that we went down to 10 men shortly after half-time has killed any chance of this being a thriller. And I just feel Tottenham are going to nick this. And Ndombele, again, Devan on the ball, Rugalon, and Ndombele is going to be a shot here from Harry Winks. Oh, whistle's just wide of the post. I'm going to check my microphone's on, which it is, because I'm no good speaking to anyone here. Saka scored for Arsenal. Oh, breathe a sigh of relief it's not Muriel. But like I say, somebody's probably come from 5 goals behind and got an absolutely whooping in. But if this ends 0-0, I feel like I've completely jinxed that now. Let's talk about this in a minute. Vinagre gets it out for now, good. But if this ends 0-0, we'll be unbeaten during this spell. I'll tell you what, Traore's got a chance to win the match. He's in on goal, shoots. Really poor shot, though, there from Adama Traore. Given the space he had, he should have just put his foot through it. We haven't got space, I think, for one more substitute. And we're going to bring... We'll bring Podence on for Traore. Swap those 2 round. But we've got a few minutes left. It looks like it's going to be a very drab result. It's 0-0, but we'll take it. It's an extra point. So we do finish in 5th in the Premier League. You know, we did well there. We proved people wrong. Ooh, awaiting media reaction. Very fancy. We are just going to send our assistant to that, albeit it might be our last interview as Wolves boss. Arsenal, good. They don't get anything. So it's Nottingham Forest. Oh, I mean, look how close that was on the final day. All of these 3 clubs here go down with 30 points. Fulham got a win. Wow, Fulham would have finished bottom otherwise. Forest got a draw. West Brom won. West Ham lost to Man City. Really, they did all they could. The players did there. But so we finished 3 points behind Chelsea. You can see a big gap towards us and Everton. Arsenal, Leicester and Tottenham bound to be disappointed. I don't think they're going to get any European football. We'll fine him a week's... we'll not appeal. Fine half a week's wages as the code of conduct suggests. But, you know, a really good season. A really good season. We finished 5th in the Premier League. At one stage looked like qualifying for the Champions League. Yes, we shouldn't get too carried away. I agree with that. 2.8 million to the players. I'm going to do this press conference. You usually have to wait a week or 2 for the summary. But we'll go through that and then we'll talk about my plans for the next save. I've just got a bunch of achievements which thrills me. Let's have a quick look. You won't be able to see this, but I don't think you will anyway. Oh, you will. Excellent. Well, there's my Steam. What did we get? So we got Starman, one of your players selecting the team of the year, bound to be Jimenez. Your player was the top league goal scorer against, got to be Jimenez, 24th. I think there was 3 here, so there should be something else. And career earns over £1 million. There you go. End of season review for Wolves, 2021 to 2022. So, the new arrivals. James Ward-Prowse. A C, I think that's a bit harsh. Average rating of 6.89. Didn't have a brilliant season, but he was solid. 19 million in from Southampton. Renato Sanchez, double the money. Not been too great, but 24 years old. Plenty of time to improve. Bruno Jourdain went for 16 million. He's done pretty well in Shanghai. Neves went for 60 million. He's done well. Great. Yep, made a healthy profit. Some fringe players that have gone here. Not really anything that we're going to discuss too much. Doesn't look like Balotelli's done all that much at AZ, unfortunately. Marcel, yep, I'm very pleased to get rid of him. Loans, no point going through all of these. I mean, Rafa Mir again, we brought him back because he was disappointing. Johnny has not really done much at Norwich. They can feel free to have him for 30 million, I have to say. Let's have a look at the season review then. Premier League. So we got a B-, which I think is a little bit harsh because we really were predicted, I think, in the end to... Everton got Europa Conference League. They didn't get Europa League. Maybe we only got one place because of the coefficients. That's interesting. But let's have a look at our season. So we had those 2 defeats near the start. But if you look, after that Leeds match, we didn't lose then until the 1st of December. That's a really good run we went on. And that's why we ended up where we were. 8 defeats in the season. That's less than Man United. 8 draws, 22 wins. We were far and away the best of the rest, weren't we? Europa League, yeah, we had a difficult draw against Valencia. We did pretty well in the group stages. Could have done a bit more against Benfica. Obviously, if we'd have topped the group, we'd have automatically gone to the second knockout round. But that's the way it is. Emirates FA Cup, we were disappointing, and Carabao Cup, yeah, we were disappointing too. Let's be frank about that. Moments to remember then. Biggest win, 5-0 against Fulham. Can't say I particularly remember that. 4-2 against Palace, I certainly remember that. That was a cracking match. We went 2-0 up, then we're 2-2 in quick succession. Then Campana, he did well at the start of the season, but then was pretty anonymous afterwards. Might not have been the best of seasons. Your prudence definitely helped the club's finances. That's what I aim to do. Yep, club reputation stayed the same. Jimenez selling the most shirts. Sanchez third, that's interesting. More money on all grounds from last season, which is brilliant. That looks about what our best 11 would be, probably apart from putting Danny Pacheco at left wing. I'm not quite sure about that. Max Kilman had a great campaign. 3 goals, 7.1 average rating. You can see that Willy Bolly started to go out the side a little bit, particularly in January once he was going to the African Cup of Nations. Such a feat didn't get rewarded at the end of the season ceremony, so fans' player of the season was Jimenez. Young player Kilman. Signing of the season Sanchez, I'm not sure about that. Goal of the season Traore. Top goal scorer Jimenez. Most assists Matinho, that's interesting, with 7. 6 players in the match for Jimenez. 7.2 average rating. He's now 31. And Premier Division top goal scorer was Raul Jimenez. Most goals by a player in a match. He scored 4. I can't think what match that was in, but I know he did. 10 assists in all competitions for Moutinho. 7 players in the matches for Traore. 13 yellow cards for Cody. Oldest goal scorer, yeah, Moutinho. Great season. Really was a great season. Overall, best squad. Yeah, 8 Nuri's got to stay there. I don't disagree with that at all. And obviously Shabani there. Another player who's now left the club. Club vision. Why has my contract gone to next year? Yeah, I thought so. I've ended. Well, I'm not ending my contract as such, but yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. So, squad dynamics update, all very good. New season team report looks okay. End of season break, blah 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 blah. You can see that Jimenez. Oh, that's harsh. He does get top goal scorer. Ah, there you go. Jimenez finished level with Muriel, but claimed the award by virtue of having the least playing time. I didn't know that. That's cracking. Going to put our arm around him. He's done really well. Really well as Jimenez. We got second and third goals of the season. Eze beating us, it seems, in the first game of the season. Then Jimenez got in the Players' League. Pre-season training camp. Let's get somewhere hot. Let's get to the US. End of season meeting. Europa League again. Bit too ambitious? No, I think we can do it. Oh. Well, that's disappointing. There we go. That's achievable. So, okay, that was a strange, very strange meeting. That was very strange. We have got the club vision, which is, I guess, the problem. End of next season, contract expires. I'm going to save the game quickly because I don't quite know. If I accept this, do I sign another contract? I don't know, because it says contract expires at the end of the season, end of next season, so I'm not quite sure. But the next save, then, is going to be a save I attempted a few years ago. And didn't really pull it off. I'd love to do it this year. And that save... Oh, I'm going to apply for the Sevilla job. That has come up. That's been one I've been looking at for a fair while. It's going to be conquering the Euro. And this is a save I did a few years ago. I went and won the Bundesliga with Dortmund. Nearly won the Serie A with Juventus, but the save stopped about then. But the aim is to do what it says on the tin. Go and conquer Europe. I'm going to set a fairly small target first off. Try and win three leagues in Europe. And that's why I'm going to leave Wolves, because we ain't going to do it with Wolves, are we? You could, I suppose you could say that we're not going to do it with Sevilla. And I guess that's a problem, but you just never know. But it looks like a decent job. If we look at job security, there aren't really any jobs that look particularly appetising. Lazio is second and his job is insecure. Why is that? And on a postcard. Lazio might be a good one to go to. I mean, they've still got Savage. That's a tempting one. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I think if there's nowhere we can go and Wolves offer us a good contract, we stay here. We stay here for a year, try and build, potentially get a top 4, and wait for the right job. It seems a bit silly to me to go somewhere just for the sake of it and potentially start our save on a real poo-poo. But tomorrow, it won't be the Wolves beta save. It'll be conquering the Euro with whoever we're with. We'll be with Wolves. Somebody will be with. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave it for this year's beta save with Wolverhampton Wanderers. It has been thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. The views have been great. You guys have been great as well. So hopefully you can continue the support for the next episodes to come. We have got that pesky in this corner, that Wolves logo. That's going to have to go. The outlay of this. I'm going to try and keep my finger. No, it doesn't quite go across the top, does it? I'm going to try and change the Wolves logo to whoever it is, and then you might have a bit of a different colour with me in the middle, but that's all fancy. But I'll be back tomorrow, as I say, with the first episode of Conquering the Euro. As with any part 1, all thumbs up would be appreciated. But as well on this video, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe for regular Football Manager 2021 full game content, because it is now the full game. Thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the first part of a new adventure. Goodbye for now.
Und es wird der Tag,